Do I recommend you buy or you don't buy this fragrance? I wouldn't recommend you to buy this fragrance because I don't think it's anything special. I don't think it does a good representation of what it's supposed to represent. Yeah, so some say it smells like Imagination by Louis Vuitton, but to my nose it smells totally different, and this is why. We are talking about Essence de Blanc by French Avenue, which is also known as Fragrance World. So talking about the presentation, this fragrance comes in this box, and I know Bafethu ibhokisi lami is a bit up ngoba lithanda ukuba lidala. I've used that for quite some time. So this is the box. This is what it looks like. Okay, and then here in the back you get some notes, French Avenue. So this is another thing that causes this fragrance to be ahead of the other ones. It's the presentation. The presentation Bafethu, it rocks. And then when you open it, then it comes away. Gosh. This is it here. Lid Bafethu is metal, and then the bottle is basically white. It's white, and then Lihle Bafethu bodlela. The presentation basically lana is 100% the presentation. Let me bring it closer to the skin. So Bafethu nje, the presentation is number one here. And then on the side you get this printing here. Bafethu, this fragrance is inspired by Louis Vuitton Imagination. I've never smelled the original Louis Vuitton. I've never smelled it, I'll be honest, but I've smelled my inspirations of Louis Vuitton. I've only smelled two inspirations of Louis Vuitton Imagination, which is the Fragrance World's Imaginary and Empyreal Intimation, and those are the only inspired fragrance that I've smelled, including this one. So this one is also inspired by Louis Vuitton Imagination. And I must say Bafethu ukuthi Imaginary, Intimation by Empyreal, those fragrances are fresh, they are citrusy, but I must say that this one Bafethu is quite different to those, even though they are all inspired by Louis Vuitton. This one basically goes its way. So enye into Bafethu, most people say this fragrance is fresh, but I totally disagree with that. I don't think this fragrance is fresh. I think it's only 30% fresh, but most of it is, I think it's woodsy and more sweet leaning. Some say yeah, it has a tea note, but I actually don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. So Bafethu angazi kanjani, many influencers online, when they talk about this fragrance, it's not getting much of a hype kakulu, and I think it's for obvious reasons. So many say it's fresh, but I totally disagree with that. To my nose, when I smell this fragrance, abanye bathi it has a tea note, and that's the prominent note on this fragrance, as opposed to ama citruses. As many people say, Louis Vuitton is more citrusy, and these other dupes that I showed you earlier on, they are also more citrusy. So when I smell this fragrance, mostly what I smell is ginger, the woods, and the sweetness. So with that said, I don't put this fragrance, guys, in a summer fragrance as per se, but I put this one more leaning to the colder weathers than being a summer fragrance. And ufufuna a perfume that smells like that, many people say it smells like Imagination, I would highly, maybe you don't go for this one, rather you go for Imaginary, the Intimation, than this one. And that is if you are looking for something that is fresh, more fresher, because personally I don't think that this is fresh. So Buffett, I'm sure that you are interested in knowing what this fragrance smells like, and ama official notes of the fragrance Buffett. It says ama top notes of petite grain, bergamot, citruses, and orange. So in the website, those are the top notes, meaning the first time you spray on the opening, these are the notes that you should smell. There is a small hint of citruses in the beginning, and then as it progresses, as it develops, middle notes that you will get is ginger, mint, spicy notes. Okay, so looking at these notes, these are the notes that I can smell right now, even on the opening. Unfortunately, I don't smell the citrus notes. The base notes, which is basically on the dry down, you will get a transparent flower, I'm not sure what that is, aquatic notes, and ambergris. From my experience in wearing this fragrance, I must say that you do get these notes, the aquatic notes. There is a bit of a hint of aquatic notes. The ambergris as well, including spices. I'm not sure what a transparent flower is. So guys, if these notes smell good to you, or they sound good to you, maybe this will be a fragrance for you. But I will be honest, to my nose, I'm only smelling ginger, a bit of mint, a bit of spicy notes, aquatic, ambergris. The other notes, I'm so sorry, I do not smell them. Buffett, another thing that is tricky about this fragrance is the fact that when you spray it on skin, that's when it smells fresher. It smells fresher on skin. But if you spray it on clothes, it smells a bit different as opposed to when you spray it on the skin. On the clothes, the more prominent note that you get is the note that is said to be a tea note. I don't know where they get that from. Is the tea note on the clothes is very prominent. But the minute you spray it on the skin, it smells different and smells more fresher. So if you want to do justice, if you want to get a good experience of this fragrance, I would highly recommend you use it more on the skin than using it on the clothes. So Bafethu, this fragrance where it really shines and it gets a bit of an edge as compared to Imaginary, the Intimation, is the fact of its performance, guys. This thing has a solid performance, over 10 hours, over 11 hours on skin. You spray this thing in the morning, you come back in the afternoon, at night, you smell it on your screen, you still smell this fragrance. So the performance is very good with this fragrance. Also, quality is good, even though I don't think it's fresh, but I must say that quality is better on this fragrance. So Wafethu, performance Jelana is solid the whole day, even the following day. You can still smell it, even on skin the following day, and on clothes, you can still smell it. So with that, that's the edge that this one has over its competitors. So Bafethu, in terms of its seasonality, age, and use case, I would highly recommend, if you're gonna wear this fragrance in summer, wear it on skin. That's when you're gonna get a good experience of this fragrance. If you are going to be spraying it on clothes, I would highly recommend it. You wear it more in the colder season, and of course, because of that tea note, which I think is more medicinal than being a tea note. And in terms of age, Bafethu, I would recommend it for more older guys than as opposed to the younger generation. If you are younger than 35, I would recommend that you go for the other ones, the Intimation, the Imaginary. But if you are above 35, this might be more appealing to you. A atomizer of this fragrance, guys, it does the job. Yeah, even though it's finished, it's not the best atomizer, but it does the job. It's not something that I'm very impressed about. Talking about the price, the fragrance, it usually sells for about 550 to 750 rands. That's the normal price of it. I wouldn't recommend you buy it for anything that is above that price. So in case you are interested in buying it, that's the price. So Bafetu, my overall thoughts of this fragrance is basically I would give it a solid 5 out of 10. Please don't kill me. I know some of you love this fragrance, but to my nose, I would give it a 5 out of 10. And basically, that's because of the presentation. Those points are solely for a presentation and the fact that it has a bit of a good quality and the performance of that. But I'm cutting off 5 because I don't think that it does a good representation of what it's supposed to represent. So that's why I'm taking away a 5. Another thing, many people say it's a summer fragrance, of which personally I don't think this is strictly a summer fragrance. I think it's versatile, but more leaning to the winter. So for that reason, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Do I recommend you buy or you don't buy this fragrance? I wouldn't recommend you to buy this fragrance because I don't think it's anything special. I don't think it does a good representation of what it's supposed to represent. Yeah, so for that fact, I wouldn't really recommend. Instead, I would recommend that you go for the other inspirations because there's quite a lot of inspiration. And unfortunately, guys, this is not the one if you are looking for a summer fragrance. And so, with that said, thank you for watching up until this time. I hope this video was quite helpful to you. I hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.